Okay, it's 10:06 a.m. I had two trades and one of them didn't work out. And this one kind of worked out. It did get to the day high, even broke above it, but it didn't do that much more. Let's go over the first trade, which is AKAN, and I'm still interested in this one. I like how maybe this thing shows that it can rapidly turn around. Right here, even had a rapid turnaround. And I am watching it because it's broken past this downtrending trend line and even tried to get above it and then it sold off a bit. So I'm still interested in this one for, I might even be doing it now. A setup where I can try to turn around and then maybe it can have another spike. Obviously not as big as these first two, but maybe it can get to the 30s and that could be impressive. And I did have a trade initially at 955 with that in mind. That was right around here when it was looking like it was trying to maybe bottom. And I got out of it very quickly the same minute when it looked like it was trying to hold and then it looked like it was going to break under the day low at the time. So I got out of that one. And that was a scratch because I got in at 272 and I got out at 271, which was a pretty good sell. And then I saw this one very quickly. Immediately when I saw this one, when I looked at the chart after using the scanner here that I might use to replace scans, when I saw it, it looked super impressive. It gave me like all the right signs that this was like a really nice long setup because of the way it traded. And that, it's been holding VWAP. It had a dip under it, had a spike, and then it sold off. It got to this VWAP level and it held VWAP. So that was super impressive. And now it looks like a head and shoulders, but it might not break VWAP, or if it does, it's going to be a super profitable short setup for anybody who was maybe looking at this uptrending head and shoulders setup. Not really the best setup, but it is there. I was in at 959 very quickly. I didn't even know if I had the right amount of shares because it looked like it was starting to work out. And I didn't have the best entry at 164, but I thought if it was going to work out, it's going to work out, and it's not going to matter where I got in precisely. But it looked like it was trying to lift off of VWAP, and that's exactly what ended up being the case. I didn't like the price action. I did get out 1001, just a portion of my position, less than half, which is good because my mistake in a few trades I had previously was that before it worked or didn't work, I didn't like the price action and I sold like half or more than half. And then when it works, I don't have that much to trade with. So that was good. I did sell 20 at 1001 and that was at 163. So right here, yeah, just a little penny off from my entry at 164. And then I did sell 10 shares once it was starting to work, right when it got to the potential day high, and that was at, what was it? Yeah, 174 at 10:02. So right here, I got out some at 174, just in case that maybe it gets to the day high, but it doesn't break above it and it fails. So at least I sold some there. And then once it was actually breaking above 176, I did sell 10:03, which was this candle right here, this red one. I sold just 5 shares at 176.8. So I think this was my best sell. And then I sold the last piece once I broke this uptrending trend line that I had at 168.5. I traded this one perfectly. It just didn't really work that much. I did sell a large portion of my position before it worked because it wasn't looking too nice for a moment. Maybe I can just stop being a chicken and just let it either work or not work and then sell. That is a trade right there. It didn't get to the 180s, or at least it didn't break above it. I was also looking at this one. This one was pretty interesting. Didn't have an interest of buying like something where it has like this downtrending trend line and then it breaks it eventually because of the fact that this thing, if you look at AIAD over a longer period of time, it does this a lot. Just a little spike, sell off, spike, sell off, spike, sell off. You can see the volume. And if you go even further back, this thing does it a lot. So it's not something I have much confidence in that could try to turn around. Obviously it could, but I just think it's less likely. That's it for right now. I think I learned some, yeah, this one might work out. I learned some trading HILS. I like that I had some experience there, and it is trying to hold around VWAP for now. That's it for right now. I'll make an update later. Okay, it's 10:48 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm going to be up on the day $1, one whopping dollar and 55 pennies, two trades, AKAN and HILS, and This one worked out perfectly eventually. I went over the idea, what I wanted it to do, and all of you who are watching this, you clearly saw me go over the idea, and it did exactly what I wanted it to do. Unfortunately, I did not get long. Let me get to AKAN, which was not there. I'm going to use TD immediate trade just because the chart really worked, and my trade was way back here before it started to work. I think right here is when I got in and I got out. Let me just confirm. Yeah, I was in at 955 thinking that maybe it was going to hold the bottom right here and then do the thing where it might turn around over a longer period of time looking at the 15-minute chart and then having that risk be 26. And yeah, it did eventually work. Not when I got in, but it did downtrend some more and then it put up a double bottom. And there was a point where I was interested in getting in, but then I thought, I'm kind of chasing it at this point. I was thinking, well, geez, it could work out and everything, but I'm gonna be in at 28. It's already above VWAP. What if it just gets slightly above VWAP and it doesn't work out? Well, in this case, it did work out. It did do the thing I was talking about, that it was going to make another spike, and it did get to the 30s and also got to the 40s. So this one really worked out with that in mind. And yeah, I think it's just a good reminder not to be so freaking cheap. I could have even have stayed in that position I had right here in the 272 point, and it would have made a move towards that 26 level, but it never broke it, and that was the important level, not necessarily what I thought could potentially be a low right here. And after the double bottom, even if I were to have been in at 28 and a half, because it does kind of trade with a spread, it worked out and it got super high as the 40s. Just to show and reference, my entry was right here. It did work out. And this was a double bottom too. It wasn't even like a lower low where maybe it had a bottom here, then it broke it even further, and then it turned around. No. Yeah, the momentum was there, and unfortunately I missed out, but at least I was on the right track, and I just missed it out. It's not like I was on the right track and I lost money, because I was trying to trade off of this point, and I did have the interest of trying again if it gets to a lower point, as long as it doesn't break 26, and that is exactly what happened. I just missed out on another entry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm glad I was on the right track with that. There wasn't really anything else that I was interested in. This one's weird. This might make a nice morning panic bounce play at some point. This one I was watching and never was able to regain above VWAP. And this one sold off as well. And this one really worked out. I did see it when it was right here and it was looking kind of ugly. When it downtrended and it broke like this range low right here. Totally missed out on this one, but I regret missing out on this one more because I kind of disregarded this one, thinking that it was just going to sell off like a lot of the other gappers. So yeah, this one was the exception, but very impressive. I will continue to watch this, but there isn't anything I necessarily want to do with it anymore, and it is pretty expensive now. Pretty cool with that. That's it for today. Yeah, a lot of good lessons. Hopefully, I can be able to, be better from this and be able to make more money with these lessons.